Well, good morning. No, good afternoon, my stitchy friends. How is everybody doing today? First, before we go anywhere, I'd like to welcome all the new subscribers again. Since the last time I recorded, it's really looking like a lot of you are giving the channel a chance, and I so very much appreciate that. And you just don't know how much it means a lot. I have to wonder, and I'm going to throw this in here, I have to wonder how many of you, and if you are, leave me a note in the comments to tell me. My boss of when I was working in a long-term care facility is also a graduate of the same hospital that I am. And they put out a newsletter periodically, and she and I go for lunch together, along with another two ladies, every now and again. Every couple months we go out to lunch, and Carol put an article in our alumni newsletter about my making videos. So if you are one of the new people and you have found me via my alumni newsletter, please let me know that, because I'm curious just how many people did join the channel after that newsletter came out. So Carol, I don't know if you watch any of the videos, but if you do, thank you so much for doing that. And maybe we'll be able to reconnect with some other people. So if you're new, that's the deal, and welcome. I'm so glad that you gave the channel a chance. And to all my returning subscribers, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me. Well, it looks like we're going to stitch on Fred today. Now, I kind of have him all rolled up here. Don't look at my back. It's terrible. But I will open it at the end of the video so that you can see how far we've gotten, or I've gotten. I'm at statistics here. You don't want to see my arm. Use the other hand. Okay. I am at 80.9%. 62,229 stitches are completed, and I still have 14,676 to go. But really, most of it is all down here in the toe. So what I decided to do is just to focus on a remaining page and fill in the page, and then move to the next one. Because let me check here. Okay, I don't think I have that many pages. Okay, page 2 is done, page 3 is done, page 4 is done, page 5 didn't have anything on it, 6 is done. 7 just needs about another 10 stitches. 8 is done. Page 9 is what I'm working on, and that's 80% done. And 10, 11, and 12 are all at like 99.9%. So there's not much. Yes, I did carry thread. There's not much to do on that. And then there's quite a bit of page 13 and 14. 15 is almost done. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. So I'm just going to focus on a page at a time and finish a page and take it from there. Now, I need a drink. I'll tell you why in a second. What we're also trying to do is, I had a suggestion from one of my subscribers that since you have a lot of solid stitching, why not use the sewing method and stitch it in hand to finish it up? So that is what I'm doing. And the practice will hopefully help me get better at stitching in hand. So that's the name of the game today. We're going to stitch a bit in hand and hopefully somehow this is easier when you're sitting in your stitchy chair. Because it looks like I'm missing the holes. You know what? I'm going to reach behind me and get my scientific glasses, because that will help. Speaking of scientific glasses, I think I did mention this before, but Craft Optics is having a sale till the end of the month. If any of you are interested in purchasing them, it goes until, I want to say, the 30th, April 30th. And I will put a link here at the end of this, or in the drop down box of this video, that if you use that link, you will, I believe, also get an additional discount. So you might want to, if you're interested in the glasses, you might want to check that out. I'll tell you what, I love them. I use them every day. And several of my subscribers have gotten them, and they all seem to be very pleased with them. So check them out if it's something you want. If not, that's okay too. Oh, this is better now. I can see a little better. I hope that you guys can see. I was having a bit of a fuss this morning with my iPhone. It just didn't want to connect right to my streaming software. I guess it was just having a fickle day. But we got something up here that you can see what I'm doing, and we'll take it from there. I have been MIA a little bit over the past 2 weeks. For those of you that watched the video with the interview with Ronnie Rowe, probably already know why I was missing. But I had one heck of a cold. It knocked me on my tush. So pardon my coughing, because that part is still hanging on. And I think my voice is still a little raspy. I did record one last week. However, I did not post it because it was just too full of cough. And you really didn't want to watch me stitch and listen to me cough. So needless to say, I did not upload that one. And that's why we're here today. Now, and as you can see, this isn't too bad going sewing and doing it up and down the row instead of across the row. For me, I find it flows better going up and down as opposed to going across. I can get a better rhythm, I guess, or a better flow as to the stitches. And the nice part is this is all the same color. I don't have to put any other color in there, so I can just not split threads. I can just stitch away while I keep talking about nothing. The wrong way there. For those of you who are in the, let me just remind people of this again. I reminded people on my last video, but I really have to say it again because I get a lot of people that request to join my Facebook groups, which is For the Love of Diagonal Stitching and NeedleBugg Family. And that's great. However, there are a lot of people that are not answering the questions. And if you have been one that has been declined, chances are you did not answer the questions. Or when I look at your profile, it appears to have been cloned, which means someone's using your feed, or I should say your profile picture, and maybe one or two pictures from your albums, but that's it. That's all that's there. So those kind of requests are also an automatic denial, because those kind of requests are when there's no information. It's probably a cloned account. The other reason you might get denied is when I look at your profile and you haven't answered any questions, or sometimes even if people have, their profile shows nothing of being a stitcher. I am unable to determine, are you really someone who stitches, or are you really a bot trying to get into a group and advertise this, that, or the other thing and sell things? And that doesn't happen in my groups. I don't have people, and I don't want people selling all kinds of this, that, and the other thing. I have occasionally approved that to take place, but the person has always gotten in contact with me and asked if it was okay, and there was usually some kind of special circumstances surrounding that. So if you are one that is found to be posting uh, things for sale or trying to recruit or scam or whatever, if you are already in the group, you will be not allowed to comment or post for a few days. And then once that expires, all your posts will have to be approved. If that gets lifted at any point, which, it could be, that's the first offense. So if it gets lifted and you go back to being a unrestricted, I guess, member of the group, and you post it again, you try and sell things or advertise things for sale, the next step is you will be removed from the group and blocked. Because, like I said, selling is not to be the focus on this group. As I said, on occasion, I will allow it if, dependent on what it is, and if the person has contacted me first. I just deleted a bunch of ads that were for some sort of a sweatshirt. And yes, the sayings on it were cross-stitch related. However, those were the only posts this person ever made. The person was relatively new to the group, hadn't been in it very long. And there were multiples. So that person is now suspended. And then I think I gave him a 3-day suspension. When that is over, all their posts will need to be approved. So just a heads up to everybody that is the expectation. There's too many scam things and stuff like that around that I do not want it in the groups. So I'm trying to not have it show up in the first place. But there are going to be people that slip by, and if the rules are violated, well, then we'll address that when we get there. And normally I try and address that individually and not post a big fuss in the group, because that's not what the group is for. So that's my do with that. So the reason I was MIA is, if you watch the interview with Ronnie Rowe, I was already getting sick there. But got through it. I think it went rather well. Ronnie was happy with it. So I may have him on again sometime. I'm have Stitching Jewels will be on sometime around the middle of May. And if there is anyone else out there that would like to be featured, even if you don't have to be somebody that does floss tube, you can, or make videos. If you're just a stitcher and you want to come on a live and have a chat with me and have the rest of the viewers ask you questions, that's fine. You can do that. Just let me know. I am really surprised that this is going rather quickly, stitching this way, and I'm really not having a lot of trouble doing it. I'm crossing each X as I go, and I go down one row and up the next. Like I said, when it's all one color like this, it really is pretty easy peasy and goes pretty easy peasy fast. So if you're stitching along with me, we'll count up our stitches at the end of this video and see how many we got done, because I have a feeling I'm going to have a pretty good number. But let me see what number I'm starting at, because I was already stitching on this. So I have 140. So anything over 140 will get counted as done during the video. So anyway, I was saying, I was sick, getting sick already when I did that interview 2 weeks ago. And 2 weeks ago, when we had our Zoom meetup, I was getting really sick. But hung in there, and we were able to do most of the 3 hours, so it went okay. But after that, for the next couple of days, it knocked me for a loop. Between the blowing my nose, the coughing, I just felt like a Mack truck hit me, and I was really kind of too dumb to fall over. But what I have left is this croupy type of cough. It sounds like I have the croup. And I'm sorry I keep moving up out of the view of the camera. I'll try harder to not do that. so that you can, that split a thread, so that you can see what I'm doing here. And like I said, I'm just going up the row and down the row, completing each X as I go. And I just find this easier than going all the way across and coming back and all the way across and coming back. It's not too bad one direction, but when you have to come back crossing each X as you go, to me it always felt like I was trying, well, I was going backwards, but the needle had to be inserted at what for me was an awkward angle to get back to that place where I needed to bring my thread to the front. Where this way, by working up and down the row, I have no awkward angles. And I do have to well, since I'm going to complete this by finishing a pen, I got to stick those ends in. By going for page completions and feathering a bit into the next page. It does seem to be going a bit faster. And my stitches, okay, they're not perfect, but they aren't as bad as they've been in the past when I stitched in hand. So I don't know. I don't know. This may become a thing. We'll have to see. And just bottom line is, these are heaven and earth designs, and you just don't whip them out in a week or two. They are long-term projects, very long-term projects. Now, this one should not have been this long of a project, because I really should have finished it 2 years ago. But we're working on it now. It's getting to the point where you see light at the end of the tunnel. Because the end is getting closer and closer and closer every day. I got a little behind because I wasn't doing 200 stitches in a day when I was sick. In all honesty, I really didn't stitch much over the last 2 weeks. Just because of that reason, I didn't feel good. I slept a lot. Heaven forbid if I would have still been working and had to work. Wouldn't have been nice. Would not have been nice at all. Oh, geez, I just had a thought. It flew in my head and it flew right back out. Maybe it will come to me again. We shall see. I totally lost the thought. It was something I wanted to tell you too. Well, maybe it'll come back. Maybe come for a return visit. Until that thought jumps back in my head again. I hope those of you in the group have taken note that Saturday, I will not be doing the Zoom stitch and chat on Saturday because I am going to a day stitching at my local but not quite so local needle workshop. I'm going to meet up with some friends there, both old and new friends. So it should be a lot of fun. So that's an all-day thing. So I won't have the Zoom open on Saturday. What I'm going to do is go on Friday evening. For a couple hours. So if you're in the Facebook group, NeedleBugg Family, information is posted there of how to get, or the information that you need to get into the Zoom. But you have to be a member in order to get that information. And if you are a member, that information does not get handed out to anyone. Again, just because we don't want scammers or those kind of people. In fact, twice within 2 days, I had friend requests from male stitchers. And of course, their profile pictures, that's all there was, is there was just a page set up in that particular name. There was a profile picture. There were no other pictures, and there were no posts on the feed. Well, can you guess what I did to that? Yeah. I said, delete, delete, report, and block. There's just, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not going to go there. I just don't understand the world these days. Which is why a lot of the time we are homebodies and I do my stitching and my husband does his thing, and we're quite happy little campers. And given all of that, I have no clue where I got this bloomin' cold. And like I said, it is just have this crazy cough left. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, and my other news. Almost forgot. It wasn't what I was thinking of earlier, but it's still noteworthy. Those of you that have been with me for a while know that I was having trouble being able to see my stitching. And it turned out, well, let's stay in the sequence. I was having trouble, and I did not think I was going to be able to stitch on any of the higher count fabrics anymore. Now, my fabric supply, oh, for heaven's sake, I hate when your needle keeps on threading. My fabric supply consisted of mostly 40 count. I had some 56 count. I had 25 count. You know, I didn't have anything that would fall in the low numbers. So I gifted a lot of my fabric thinking I'm never going to be able to do this again on this count fabric. About the smallest I could stitch is what I'm stitching on now, which is 20 count. 1/1. So that's one strand of floss over one block in the fabric. Well, then I threaded my needle again. Then I had an eye doctor appointment, which I went to a new eye doctor, only to find out that my previous eye doctor had me in the wrong prescription. Now, what I forgot to tell you here is I did rehome a lot of projects that I was working on that were on those count fabrics that I was having trouble seeing. And there was one particular one that I really didn't want to rehome, but I really would have liked, oh my God, it unthreaded again. I really would have liked to have it finished. So one of my subscribers contacted me and asked if she could set up a round robin of people that wanted to stitch on Pandemic and help get it finished, which I thought was just a fantastic idea. So that's what we did. So it has been going for, oh my goodness, well over a year, being passed around. And I think it stayed in the United States. I don't believe that it ended up going overseas. But there were a bunch of people that that stitched on it. And then they all put their names around the outside border. Well, it isn't finished yet, but it is on its way home. And now that I have the correct prescription in my glasses, and I have my scientific goggles, I can probably, no, I am able to now finish it. So it has gone full circle. And is coming back home. I will finish it and then hang it on my long dog wall. So that should be, I'm anxious to see it, and I will, when it comes home, I will show it here for all of you to see. It's done on a Victorian red fabric with DMC B5200. And the last time I saw a picture of it, it just looked fabulous. And I do have to say, that is the kind of stitching that my husband goes, yeah, they all look the same. Which he has a point. He has a point. Move my chart here. Gotta soon mark some of this stuff off. But I am rather anxious to see it and be able to put the finishing touches on it. And I think I'm going to frame it myself. It's not that difficult to do. It's time consuming, but it's not difficult. So when I do that, I will make a video of how to mount your fabric and get it into the frame. So that will be upcoming. And what I should do is I should try and make a video of turning this piece into a stocking and see how that goes. Now, that being said, I can stitch X's till there ain't no tomorrow. But constructing something to make it an FFO leaves a little bit to be desired. I gotta mark off my chart here. But I can make a video of that if that's something that you would like to see done. So let me know that in the comments if you want a video on how to, oh, it's stuck, on how to mount your needlework. And I think I've already done videos on how to wash your finished piece. But if you want a video of my turning this into a stocking, we can also do that. So that would be fun. So what else do I have to talk about today? Can't off the top of my head, whatever that was that I thought of earlier, it has not showed up again. So I have no clue what it was. When I'm done with the video, it will come back to me. That's usually the case. So I have to say, I am rather, it's taking a little bit of getting used to, and I'm not sure what it would be like if I would be doing areas of a lot of confetti. But I am rather liking stitching this way. I haven't, I hope I've been keeping it in the on the screen in view. But you see, it does go relatively quickly. And what else do I have to tell you? Told you about the Zoom. I will be posting probably on Thursday the information to get. Oh, that's wrong there. Hold on, got to take that out. The information to get into the Stitch and Chat on Friday evening. And there are people that I have a mailing list that if you want an email to say, this is the information to get in the group or in the Zoom meeting, let me know. Send me your email address, and I will add you to the list. And that, like I said, that will be Friday evening this week instead of Saturday. But I really am looking forward to this stitching day. It will be at Hodgepodge. You might have heard of that through Country Stitchers. They live in my area, and they do, I believe they shop at Hodgepodge. I'm not sure if they will be there or not, but we'll see. I'm meeting some friends that I made when I went to that weekend retreat in Ocean City. Camp Buena Stitch, which is sponsored by the Embroiderers Guild of America. In fact, I just renewed my membership, and I joined the Lamplighters chapter, mainly because they have both in-person meeting, but they also have meetings on Zoom. And that was the reason I picked that chapter to become a member of, because I could attend just by going on Zoom. So that should be fun. In fact, that's who I'm meeting up with on Saturday at this day stitching thing. So it will be fun. So let me see how many stitches I did while we are here, because we're soon at an hour already. My goodness. Okay, let's mark these off that we did. Now, let's look. We started at 140, and I'm now at 255. So that is 115 stitches in just this hour. So that's pretty nice. Pretty nice. So how many of you want to see how far Fred is? So let me make this bigger. Oh, oh, oh. Turn that camera off. Make this bigger. We can put this out of the way. Put this out of the way. And let's hold Fred up for you to see. Let's see, still 14,561 to go. So here we go. Do this with the light. There we go. Now you can see where I am on his boot, on the boot part. The heel is almost totally done, and then just the toe. Yeah. So there you go. I just was working over here. Yeah, let's get you a little closer. Yeah. I was just working over here in that. So you can see what we have left to do. So it will definitely be done for Christmas this year. Most definitely. Here, I can switch back to this camera and maybe you can see a little closer. Oops. Hold on. Let's turn that camera back on. Let's do this. Okay, a second. Wait a second. There it is. Okay, let's zoom in this way. Move this out of the way. And bring this. Well, let's go back this way a little bit further. And turn this like this. I'm trying to get it that I can put most of it on the table. There we go. There we go. All right, so that's what we have left to do. There we go. So just, if I'm remembering right, the boot just comes out like this and here. So being that it's a lot of solid stitching, it should not take long at all. So that's what we have with that. So my friends, I think now that we are at almost an hour, we will call this one a day. There we go. Let's open this up a little bit. There we go. We'll call this a day, and maybe I can try and get another Stitch With Me in this week, because the more we can do Stitch With Me's, the sooner I can get Fred done. So with that, my friends, thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you the next time. So bye-bye for now.